Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Cashier webinar. If you haven't joined us on any of our previous ones, we're in the middle of a 9-week series on Cashier and everything it does, how it's helping merchants solve a lot of problems, make more money, and just make their store better in a lot of different ways. This is week 5. Just a quick recap, see if I can remember them all. The first week we did an overview of Cashier, and if you don't know what Cashier is, that's a great one to watch. It talks about why we built it, the history behind it. It's something we've been working on for 3 years. There's a lot behind Cashier, and sometimes that's a question a lot of people have is like, what does it do? And it does a lot. At the core, it's a third-party checkout for Shopify that plugs into a lot of different things. So we covered that in week 1. Week 2, we did a deep dive on upselling with Cashier. So upselling is one thing, but upselling with Cashier is completely different because it enables upselling after checkout, funnels after checkout, and upselling after checkout or upsells after checkout convert roughly 3 times higher than upsells before checkout. So actually, timing is really good because Black Friday and Cyber Monday or the holiday season are coming up. So if you don't have upsells on your store right now is a really good time to get them set up, get them running, fine tune them, get Cashier set up. So check out that webinar. That's week 2. Week 3, we did a deep dive on multi-currency and international selling. And that the biggest thing with that is really selling and billing in 153 different currencies. So we covered that. I won't go into that now, but if that's something that interests you, check that out. Last week, we jumped into subscriptions, and subscriptions has its own checkout, works great, but with Cashier, it actually does a lot more. There's a lot more features that are unlocked, more robust APIs, subscription upselling, smart bundles, product shuffle subscriptions. If you want to know what any of that stuff is, watch that webinar. Today, we're doing a deep dive on wholesale and B2B with Cashier. It was one of the reasons we wanted to build Cashier originally was to solve for wholesale. And I'm going to get into our theory behind that in a little bit, but because I know there are a lot of different ways you can do wholesale on Shopify, and I'm going to touch on that in a bit. So the first thing that I want to say, just a little bit of housekeeping, this stream is being streamed in a lot of different places. It's on Twitter, Facebook, multiple places, YouTube, Crowdcast, where probably most of you are watching. If you have questions, just ask them wherever you are. I've got an iPad over here, and I'll see the questions coming in, and I'll just answer them live on the air. And if you're watching it, if you're watching it on social media, please give it a share, give it a like or something. And yes, ask questions wherever you are. And even if you're watching this after we're done, feel free to ask any questions, and we'll make sure we get them answered in any of those places as well too. The video will live on there even after the live webinar is done. And just to let you guys know, I'm going to answer questions as we go along. I don't like to let them pile up a ton and answer at the end. So we've got questions coming in already, which is awesome. There's a lot of people that signed up for this webinar, so there's a lot of interest already. Someone's asking, I would love to see how to set up a wholesale account. Don't worry, you will see. That's one of the main things we're going to cover. So I just like to quickly highlight 4 important links that you will want to know. The 4 apps we're going to cover are customer pricing, net terms, memberships, and then of course Cashier. So if at any point all of these apps have free trials, Cashier actually doesn't have a charge. It's completely free. There's just a 0.5% processing fee, so you can install it for free. You don't get charged anything. And then all the other apps have free trials as well too, so feel free to grab any of those at any point. And let's go ahead and jump right into it. So B2B is important, whether you are a B2B business only or there's just a small aspect of your business that's B2B. It is roughly, e-commerce is growing. It's projected to basically double again in the next 5 years. B2B is actually 4 to 5 times bigger than all B2C commerce. So it's something you should be thinking about. It's something that is going to be a big portion of all online sales in the next 5 to 10 years. So getting yourself ahead of the game now is really important. Forrester Research forecasts that US B2B commerce is going to grow at a compounded rate of 10% per year. This is just in the United States alone, eventually reaching 1.8 trillion. And at that point in 2023, it was just under 20% of all B2B commerce is going to be done online. So wholesalers and dealers are getting more and more used to buying online. I think traditionally a lot of people would think that, dealers will phone in an order, they fax, they email, or however they get an order in, but dealers don't place orders online like customers. And that's just not true. Dealers are placing orders, shopping just like a regular customer does. You might have certain sections of your website styled differently for B2B, like maybe you don't have all the big fancy images and everything else. It's more product grid, but they're still shopping online. So we're talking about Cashier in this series, and I have this slide in each of our webinars because I like to frame Cashier. Cashier does a lot. And when you look at some of these words on this slide here, these are just a few. There's many more. These are just some of the things that Cashier solves for: subscriptions, stored credit cards accounts, wholesale pricing, social discounts, buy online, pick up on stores, customizable URLs. Anyways, it does all of this. Today is a little bit different. All of the other webinars we've done so far have focused on one thing. Today we're focusing on wholesale and B2B, and there's really 5 functions. Arguably, a lot of this stuff could help with B2B, but really 5 core functions that we're going to focus on that help solve for B2B. And that's wholesale pricing, net terms, where you give your customers, net 30, net 60, net 90, net 15, whatever you want, terms to pay, credit limits, back orders, pre-orders, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about some other things, but those are going to be the core things. So this is what I was starting to get into a little bit earlier, but I didn't want to go down a rabbit trail. The way we think about wholesale at Bold is we realize that every wholesale merchant has a different way they think it should be done. And that's okay. There's not one out-of-the-box solution. This is how you have to do wholesale. So we've chosen to approach it with a suite of apps that can all work together, or you can use one, you can use pieces, you can use some, you can use all of them. For example, you might offer wholesale pricing, but you don't offer net terms to your customers. You want them to pay on a credit card up front, so then you wouldn't use the net terms app. It's just one example, but we realize that every wholesale store is unique. So the way we're approaching it is building a suite of apps that all plug into Cashier, which plugs into Shopify, to allow you to offer a wholesale experience on your original Shopify store. So you don't need a duplicate store. It doesn't duplicate variants, doesn't duplicate products. It doesn't use coupon codes. Because it uses Cashier, all the prices can be dynamically changed, what's shown, what's hidden, what terms are given, everything in Cashier, and it doesn't affect anything on the front end of the store. And I just want to say there are a number of ways you can do wholesale, and they're all perfectly legit. You can clone your store. A lot of people do that. They have one store for retail, and then they just have a completely separate instance of Shopify for wholesale, and that's perfectly fine. There's some pros and cons to that. The pros are, of course, that you can customize your wholesale experience exactly the way you want because it's a separate store. The downs of it are if your retail and your wholesale customers are pulling from one inventory base, that can be a little bit tricky. Obviously, it's 2 sets of everything, accounting, two bills, or charges for every account you have on each plan, keeping everything synced, updating things twice. So there's some cons as well too, but it's a legitimate option. If you're on Shopify Plus, they do have a wholesale channel, which is an approach that works for a lot of merchants as well too. And then with Bold Cashier, it uses your existing Shopify store and alters it when a wholesale customer is logged in. And the reason I said wholesale experience versus just wholesale pricing is it's not just the prices. You can change everything on your website. So when a wholesale customer logs in, you can have a completely different homepage, show different products, have a different menu, of course different pricing, but the experience can actually be completely different as well too. So that's how we think about it. So these are some of the things that we're solving for today. And then there's more stuff coming in the future. But some of the things you can do with our suite of wholesale apps is set site-wide wholesale pricing with a couple clicks, actually, and I'll show that later. But you can also have set individual prices per product as well, wholesale prices. You can have as many different wholesale price levels as you want, no limit. This comes up, usually you might have 3 or 4, but there are some merchants that we've had that have over 5,000 levels of wholesale pricing. They have a unique price sheet for each vendor. So there are scenarios where merchants quote vendors or quote dealers. And so bottom line is there's no limit. But probably what applies to most people is you might have wholesale level 1, wholesale level 2, wholesale level 3, and that just depends on how much that dealer orders per year. If they order $10,000 a year or under, they get level 1 pricing. And if they order $50,000 a year more, they get level 2. You can set those price limits. You can even have it automatically move your dealer through the different wholesale price tiers as they spend more, or you can manually put them in. So again, a custom store, content, products for dealers, solving for net terms. You can set it for whatever you want. Adjustable credit limits that customers can actually use when they check out. They can purchase from their credit limit. Stored accounts, simple reorders, pre-orders and backorders. So these are some of the things we're solving for, and we're doing it with a suite of apps that plug into Cashier to solve for wholesale. So I want to quickly touch on these. I guess I got backorders first here. So, I'll explain what backorders is, and then I'll touch on where that is in the pipeline. Backorders is in a nutshell, it lets you sell products you don't have inventory for, up to a threshold you specify. Customers can check out, credit cards are vaulted. When the inventory becomes available, the order is automatically created, products are added to it, customers charged, order shipped. So that's pretty simple. The thing that is very unique though with backorders is the way we're approaching it is the card vaulting, charging later aspect. So there is no worry about authorizing a card and it not going through, or charging a customer 3 months before a backorder is filled. And one thing I just want to say, I'll touch on this in a second. So that's backorders. Memberships is another tool that plugs into Cashier. What memberships does, it does a lot of things, but in the wholesale space, the thing that it does that's really valuable is it lets you control any content on your store that's shown for a specific customer when they log in. So obviously for memberships, that's great because when a member logs in, maybe you want to give them exclusive content on the blog, or maybe it's a tutorial, or maybe, members get access to certain products. Where it comes in really handy with wholesale pricing is a lot of times for dealers, you have different content on your site, such as an area. Dealer resources is a common one. So an area where your dealers can log in and download brand assets, download price guides, download content that will help them sell your products. But you wouldn't want that to be visible when retail merchants are in your store. So with memberships, you can control what's shown, collections, entire categories, pages, menu items, literally any piece of content you want. You can even change liquid templates when a wholesaler logs in. So that's very handy to have the same store, but with different content when wholesalers log in. The next thing would be net terms. This app is live and in beta as we speak, and so what net terms does, it lets you give wholesale customers credit limits. So you can set a credit limit for $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, whatever you want. When the customer checks out, they see their credit limit in the checkout, and they can choose to use that credit limit, and then they have net 30 days, net 6 days, whatever, to pay it off. You can charge it to their credit card automatically, or you can report a payment offline, such as pay by check or some other method. Pre-orders, in a nutshell, pre-orders is the proper way to accept pre-orders on Shopify. Customers place an order, credit cards are vaulted. When the product arrives, the order is created, customers charged, and product shipped. Even if it's months later, only then is the customer charged. There's a number of pre-order solutions out there that basically change the button on your product page to say pre-order, but the customer's actually charged. In some states, that's illegal. If you're publicly traded, you definitely can't do that. And it's not the best experience for a customer to get charged now when their product's being shipped 3 months later. So it vaults the cards, holds the list of products that are on pre-order when those products come in. It recognizes that the inventory has been updated, creates the order, charges the card, and then the customer's happy. So, and then the last one is customer pricing, and this is really the core of our wholesale offering. Customer pricing lets you create an unlimited amount of wholesale price levels. You can add a site-wide discount, so maybe all your dealers get 35% off, or you can set custom prices per product. It's completely flexible. You can upload a CSV with all your pricing, however you want to do it. And then it has built-in bulk discounts as well too, which is a really common thing for wholesalers. They need to be able to set the more you buy, the more you save kind of thing. So the two that I want to just say on here, back orders and pre-orders are currently in development, but I wanted to include them in this webinar because they're close. And I know it will solve some problems for some people, but they're not live yet. Memberships, net terms, customer pricing, cashier, that's all live. You can install it right now. If you are interested in getting early access to back orders or pre-orders, I was speaking with our product managers this morning. He'd love to give you access as soon as it's available. Just let us know. Just comment put your store URL or comment on the Facebook video or a Crowdcast or wherever you're watching it. Say, yes, I want early access to back orders or pre-orders. Let us know and we'll make sure you're the first to get it. So that's why I wanted to include it in here. It's not ready yet, but I know there's people watching right now. If you're trying to solve for B2B, back orders and pre-orders are a big part of that. So let us know, comment in the comments, and we'll make sure you get it as soon as it's available, which will be soon. So, okay, with that said, the other thing I wanted to point out before we jump into it is while those things are all kind of key to wholesale, when you use Cashier, you get all the other benefits too. So yes, of course, price levels are important. Yes, of course, controlling the content on your website is important. Yes, pre-orders, backers, that's all important. But you might, everything else that Cashier offers could be important too. Why not offer a one-page checkout to your wholesale customers? Stored credit cards. Wholesale customers are going to love the fact that with Cashier, they can just pick from an existing Visa, an existing MasterCard, an existing American Express. They don't have to re-enter it. The fact that if you want to completely customize your checkout for wholesale, all the dev tools, customization, APIs that Cashier has, that's going to be handy. The fact that real-time tax rates, customizable URL, integrated loyalty points. You may or may not use loyalty points for wholesale people. The bottom line is upsells. Maybe you want to upsell your wholesale customers too. All of the other benefits that come with Cashier also come along when you're doing wholesale and B2B. We're just focusing on these core ones right now, but I just wanted to point out that don't forget that all these other options kind of come along too. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to answer a couple quick questions because they're coming in here fairly quick. So someone says, is there a mobile app that allows customers to order from a mobile phone? There's not a native mobile app. One thing we have seen a number of merchants do is create a custom collection page we call it like a quick order page. Basically, think of a normal collection on your Shopify store. You have big images, big product descriptions. Wholesale customers don't really need all that. They know what they want. They want to just quickly be able to scroll down a list and say, I want 2 of these, 1 of these, 17 of these, 25 of these, 30 of these, scroll down and then hit add to cart because they want to get in and get out fast. So you can create multiple templates of product pages, collection pages, anything you want in Shopify. And of course make them mobile friendly. And then when a wholesale customer logs in, that's what they see. It will basically be like a simplified version of your store. So you can definitely create a wonderful mobile experience where a wholesaler can quickly enter what they want. And I'm going to show you how with memberships, you can show different liquid templates based off of which customer logs in. So you just want to make it so when a wholesale customer logs in, they see the quick order entry form. So someone's asking, does vaulted pre-authorize make sure there's enough room available on the credit card? No, it doesn't. It can do an original authorization for the amount, but that doesn't mean 2 months later that there's that room on the card. So there always is the chance that 2 months later that, you know, when the back order comes in or the pre-order, now the item's in, that it goes to charge the card and there isn't any room on the card. When that happens, we have a really good dunning process that we've, because we have a subscription app and we've done a lot of work with dunning. Dunning is the process of trying a card multiple times to get it to go through, basically. There's a lot more to it, but that's it in a nutshell. So if it doesn't go through, there's a sequence of events that happens. It keeps trying it. It notifies the merchant. It can notify the customer. But long story short, it's basically when you vault a credit card, it's storing it. It's not storing the actual credit card number. The credit card number is stored with the gateway. We get a token, and then when we want to charge the card, it sends the token to the gateway and says, hey, charge this card for this. But yes, there is a chance that there isn't that money on the card. But then there's a process it goes through. Someone's asking, does Cashier work with any level of Shopify subscription? Yep, absolutely. Any Shopify plan. How long do the stored cards last? Forever. No limit. I guess the only thing is when they expire, that would be an issue when the credit card expires, although a lot of gateways now automatically update the expiry dates. So that may or may not be an issue depending which gateway you use. It's kind of like if you have your credit card on a subscription, you may have noticed that now a lot of times you have a subscription for something and you get a new credit card with a new expiry date. You don't have to call that company and update your credit card. The companies can get the new expiry date from the banks, or the gateways can get the new expiry. So some gateways actually can do that. So then actually it would stay on forever. Until the customer deletes it or you delete it, it's on. Someone said, is there a tiered and or regional shipping costs based on the order size and region of the country? Shipping, so yes, shipping can be based by country, and that can be done, it would just be like standard shipping. So it would just be in Cashier, you would set shipping per, if they order from the US, maybe you have free shipping. If they order from Canada, maybe you charge. So the shipping can absolutely be different by country. I'm not sure what tiered shipping means, but if you can give me more detail on that question. But yes, definitely shipping can vary by country, as well as you can automatically remove taxes for wholesale customers as well too. That's a big one. Someone's asking, 90% of our wholesale customers pay by check. Can this be configured to allow the wholesale client to check out and indicate they will pay by check? Yes, and you can give them terms as well too. So not just check out, they'll pay a check later. You can set a term date. Maybe it's net 30. They have to pay in 30 days, and then you can actually, a really neat way to do it is you'll have their credit card stored, and then if they don't pay by check, you can automatically charge their credit card. I'll show you how that one works. So that's actually a really good use case of Cashier with net terms, is wholesalers paying by check. Someone's asking, does the BigCommerce version of Cashier have all the same functionality? Yes. The only thing is not all of our apps work on Cashier on BigCommerce, but Cashier itself is the same. So depending what you're looking to do, it may or may not be available yet. It will eventually be though, but I would say email anyone on our support team and say exactly what you want to do, and we can maybe give you a rough timeline of when that will be available if it's not. So yes. Okay. Feel free to keep typing any questions. It's awesome. These questions are coming in, and I'll stop and answer as we go along. I am going to do a quick kind of demonstration of how customer pricing works, because I think this is probably the main thing that people will use for solving for wholesale pricing on the Shopify store. So I'm logged into a demo store. Actually, let me kind of go on the front end of the store here first. Let me log out. So I am on our demo store. And I happen to be logged in as a wholesale customer, so I'm logging out. I have some wholesale pricing set up. I want to show you what it looks like here. I have it set up on chairs. So let me just go to my chairs category, and you can set it up on your whole store. I just happen to have it set up on one collection. Because you might actually have, if you're doing your wholesale pricing by percentage, maybe chairs, wholesalers get 20% off, but maybe on accessories, the wholesale pricing is 50% off. So you can designate the different discounts by collection or individual product as well too. So I'm looking at some chairs right here. I want to point out a couple things before I log in. Let's just take this chair right here. It's $149.99. So just remember that. The other thing I want to point out is this menu up here has 4 items on it: home, shop, deals, and subscriptions. And that's it, just the 4. And there's one other thing I want to show. I'm going to click on ink and toner and sort by product title. Let's just go, or A to Z here. Okay, so there's just, so all you'll see is ink. You're going to see something different when I log in as a wholesale customer in a second here. So ink and toner, I'm logged in as a retail customer right now. I just see ink. I have 4 items in my menu. And let's go back to chairs, and then let's log in as a wholesaler. And then I'm going to show you how to set some of this up in the back end. So this chair here, that's $149.99. Let me log in. So I've got an account set up where I have tagged this customer as a wholesale customer. A couple quick things you'll notice here when you log in. If they have subscriptions, they can manage it, but dealers can also manage their own stored credit cards. So they can update them, edit them, cancel them, add new cards, which is really cool. So when you're charging them with net terms, so that person that asked the question about the check and then auto charging on a credit card, dealers can manage their own credit cards. You can also enter it for them on the back end, but they can manage it themselves as well too. So now let me go back to that same chairs collection, and remember that chair that was $149? Well, now it's $109.49. This is the exact same chair. There is no extra variants created, no duplicate products. It does not need a coupon code. It's the exact same product. It just, the price has changed on the front end, and then when it's added to the cart in Cashier, Cashier calls to our servers to make sure, yes, this is legitimately supposed to be this price, because this customer is logged in, and then the wholesale customer can check out. So, the other thing, remember there was 4 items up on the top menu. Now I've got a new item here called Dealer Resources. Actually, I've got an incognito tab open here of a non-logged in customer. So you notice this is just home, shop, deals, and promotions. Now, because I logged in, there's another menu item, and you can add as many menu items as you want. So I just added this really quick. This isn't anything fancy, but this is just an example of what maybe you have dealer resources where here you want to allow them to download your fall specials, dealer specials, logos and assets, any content that a dealer would want. So you can have an entire category of pages just for dealers, not just pages. Let's go back to that ink and toner page that we were at earlier. And I'm going to sort by A to Z again. And remember last time we just saw ink. So now you notice this ink refill station here. That wasn't there before. But because I'm logged in as a wholesale customer now, I've enabled different products to be for sale. I wouldn't want to sell an ink refill station to a normal retail customer, but when a wholesale customer logs in, I want that to be there. So you can have one or entire collections hide or show to wholesale customers. So this is just an example how I have one store, but I'm controlling the content when a wholesale customer logs in, not duplicating any variants, not forcing in coupon codes. It's just controlling the content, and because it uses Cashier, it just works seamlessly. It doesn't interfere with any 3PL's third-party logistics like fulfillment software, any accounting software, because it's the original SKU. It just works. And there's actually a lot more you can do, but this is just kind of, you can control blog posts. And I can control the theme templates that this site uses as well too. So let me just bang out a couple questions in here. They're coming in fast. Is it possible to implement a shipping table based on customer region and order size? Yes, 100%. Yeah, like you can set basic shipping rules. I think you can actually do what you're asking there right out of the box with Cashier. But Cashier also has a really neat integration with bespoke shipping that lets you set any custom shipping rules you want. You can even have different shipping by customer. So wholesale level 1 logs in, they get a certain set of rates. Wholesale customer level 2 logs in, they get completely different rates. So they might get better wholesale pricing, but they maybe also get free shipping on orders over $1,000. Wholesale level 1 maybe only gets free shipping on orders over $500. That you would just need to enable the bespoke shipping integration with Cashier, just a button to enable it, and then you could customize it. But I think actually what you're asking, you can do it even without that in Cashier. When an order is placed, does the order show up in the Shopify order status? Yes, 100%. And I'll put an order through right now and actually show you. Here, let's order this ink refill station here. I'm going to add it to cart and go to my cart. Want to make sure. There's a bunch more questions coming in. I'm going to get to them right away. This might answer some of them going through here. So I'm logged in, I think, as a wholesaler. So I have access to this ink refill station. I'm going to go ahead and check out now. So this is loading Cashier. It looks just like any other checkout, but it's completely customizable. Because I'm logged in, I'm going to pick my stored address. And you'll notice a couple other neat things here because I'm logged in. If I select credit card, my stored credit cards, remember earlier in my accounts page, I could see some credit cards there. So those are also here. So now I can choose to just pay with this credit card, or there's also another thing down here, pay with your terms account. I was going to show this later, but I might as well touch it now because the question was, oh yeah, does it show up in your order status? Well, let's just put this one through as a regular order. It's a B2B order or wholesale order, but I could, if I wanted, use my terms. I think the customer I have a $5,000 credit limit. I could pay with my credit and it actually won't charge the credit card and the order will still go through. Or I can use my stored account. Let's go ahead and let's do that. Let's place this order. And if I go, just looks like any other order. If I go into Shopify, go into my orders, I'll see it in there. Here, this one came through just right now. So this is going to be my ink refill station. So yes, hopefully that answers that question. Internet's going a little slow here. There's the ink refill station. So yes, shows up just like a regular order. If you use any other third-party software to manage your orders, like a ShipStation or Shipper HQ or any of those, it would show up there as well too. So someone's asking, the problem with bulk tiered pricing is they use the coupon code method in Shopify and customers can't use additional coupon codes when they are getting a bulk tiered price. Okay, so I think what the person's asking here is you might be using another app, I'm guessing, or you created your own bulk tiered pricing with coupon codes. I know there's actually a lot of apps that they add functionality on the front of the store and then they automatically put in a coupon code. So for example, like let's just take bulk pricing. Buy 5 or more, get X discount. Buy 10 or more, get X discount. And then it forces that coupon code in the checkout. But then if the customer has another coupon code, they can't use it. Cashier doesn't do that. Cashier does not require any coupon codes. And in fact, let me create a coupon code really quick here. I'll give you guys a quick demo here. I'm just going to call my coupon code J. Percentage, let's just say 25% off, entire order, minimum requirements none, everyone gets it, no limits, set end date. Okay, so I've got a coupon here, code called J. Now let me enable, actually, I'm going to set up a wholesale price group here with quantity breaks discounts, and then I'm going to go through and use that coupon code in a second. Someone's asking, can we show the MSRP and then show the dealer discount that is being deducted from the MSRP? Yes. Let's, sorry, short and sweet, yes. But let me show you here. Okay, so you saw on the front end how when I log in, the prices change, you can change all the content. I'm logging into the Bold custom pricing app now. We call it custom pricing because it does a lot. More than just wholesale. You can do VIP pricing, member pricing, all kinds of stuff. Wholesale is definitely the biggest way it's used. Let me show you how this works. So the first thing you're going to do is set up your tags. Super simple. You can have as many different types of customers as you want. I've set up a few in here already. I've got wholesale level 1, wholesale level 2 with these specific customers are not going to be charged tax. They have a default discount of 27%. This one has a default discount of 36%, but I can completely control what that percentage is on any collection, on any product, on how much they buy, or I can set the price. That's just kind of like a default starting percentage. I just want to point out I've got a couple other price levels in here as well too. So you don't have to just do wholesale. You might also have VIP, you might have gold. The wholesale pricing, I'm going to manually tag customers with this tag, wholesale 1. You can edit this, but I'm going to manually tag a customer with this to put them in that group. Something neat about, let's take my gold and silver. Okay, so let's take the silver one for example. So for a customer to become a silver customer, I am doing it by order history. I can tag them with the tag silver, or I've set it so if the number of orders is greater than 2, so that means they've ordered 3 times or more, and if money spent is greater than 250, let's just say, it will automatically tag that customer as silver. So I think for gold here, let's just save this. If I do gold, I think I had it set let's put that at 500. So if they spend 500 or more, they're going to go into a 5% discount. My VIP customers, I'm not automatically tagging them because I want to manually tag a VIP customer. That's, I could be talking to a customer on the phone and they're a great customer. I say, hey, you know what? I'm going to give you a VIP membership. So I'm going to just tag that customer VIP. Customer tags is, just so you guys know, if you don't, you can just pull up any customer in Shopify, click the customer, click on tags down here, and it would automatically tag. So let's say I wanted this customer to be a wholesale customer. I just tag them as a wholesale customer. So, okay, let's jump back into the app. So you can have as many wholesale price levels as you want. There is no limit. That's where you set up your tags. And then to set up a wholesale price level, you simply just go to product pricing groups. I've got a couple set up here already. The one that you saw earlier was chairs. I'm going to go through and set one up here for my printers and fax machines because everyone needs a fax machine. Let's do, so internal name, I'm going to just call this printers and faxes. This is just an internal name. You can call it whatever you want. How do I want to discount? Do I want to give a percent? Do I want a fixed price? Or do I want a price discount or set a fixed price? 99 times out of 100, it's discount. And I'm going to show you in a second how you then can alter individual products if you need as well too. If I wanted to override cents, so this would be if I want all my products to end in 99 cents, let's say. I would say, here, let's just make that end in 99. So now it's going to discount, but it's still going to end on kind of a nice number. Or maybe I want all my wholesale prices to end in 77. We'll just leave it at that. And then apply quantity break pricing per individual variant or per product. So what this means is, let's say you have a t-shirt and you want to have it so if you buy 5 or more t-shirts, the customer gets 10% off. Do you want that customer to have to buy 5 red large t-shirts? So if that t-shirt has a bunch of options, Do they have to buy 5 of the exact same variant, or can they buy 5 of any variant? So 2 large, 1 small, 1 medium. Does that qualify them? If you want it to have to be specific variants, so like exactly 5 large, select this one. If you want it to be any of it, you select this one. And then you select your products. So if I wanted to do across the whole store, I would just pop this open. Takes a second. It brings in your products from Shopify, and I can click Save My Entire Store, and this will apply this pricing level literally across your whole store. But I want to do this on a collection. I want to do this on my printers and faxes collection. So let me load up collections here. You can do it by anything. You can do it by product type. You can select individual products. You can do entire store, collections, pretty much anything, any way that Shopify sorts them, you can apply wholesale pricing to. So let's do this by printers and fax machines. Save selection, review products, just make sure it's in there. Yeah, we got it. Okay, so if I don't want to have bulk pricing, I'm pretty much done right now. But if I do want to have discounts for my wholesalers as they buy more, I would just layer that in. So right now, a wholesale customer, okay, so this is where that default comes in. My wholesale level 1 default was 27. You know what? For printers, I got higher markup on them. Let's go ahead and make that 29 and make this 37, let's just say. If you have a big list here and you don't want to offer things, you can not choose to see some of these. So you know what? Right now I'm only editing wholesale 1 and wholesale 2, so let's only look at those. On 5, I want to give a discount of 31%, and I want this to be 39. If they buy 10 or more, I want to give a discount of 34% and 41, and let's just do one more. If they buy 20 or more, they're going to get 39% and 45%, let's just say. Okay, you can add as many quantity breaks as you want, and there's a ton of questions coming in. I'm just going to get through setting this up here, and then I'll dive through as many of them as I can. Because I'm adding quantity breaks here, it's going to add a grid to the product. I can select how I want the grid to look. So there's basic grid range. I think the one I like is detailed grid. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't matter. You can pick whichever one you want. Basically, it's how do you want to display that to the customer. Let's do this one, and let's save it. So while that's syncing, it literally just takes a couple minutes. I will point out, if you don't use Cashier, this sync can take a long time. The reason why is if you don't use Cashier and you're using variants, like the old version of customer pricing would create extra variants for the wholesale price levels, and that would take time through the API to create those extra variants. With Cashier, it doesn't have to create those extra variants. It just needs to change the price, sync a couple things. It's very quick. So while that's doing, it'll just take a minute. Just a couple quick things. As far as your quantity breaks display go, you can completely customize everything here. The colors, the background, any CSS. There's some messaging in the cart that says good news, you're saving today. Customize it however you want. And then I wanted to show this earlier, but the detailed pricing grid. So I just went and I created a bulk pricing group. I could have also come in here and set pricing for individual products. Let's just look at wholesale, turn a couple of these off here. So I'm looking at just my wholesale right now. So one way to do this is to type in a price. Let's set this to set fixed price, and I can manually it's a bit time consuming, but a quicker way, let's say in general you offer 35% off to wholesalers. So what you would do is create a bulk price group across your whole store for 35%, and then come in here and then just tweak the ones that you want to tweak. So you can pull in all your wholesale pricing. If 95% of your products are 35% off for dealers, set up a bulk price group and then come in here and tweak them. I'm trying to find some of those printers. You would see it if some of the ones that have wholesale pricing on it already. I don't know what page they're on, but basically you would see the price already be set at a certain amount, and then you could just tweak it. So Okay, and then of course importing and exporting. You can import a CSV with all your pricing, and that's what a lot of the bigger stores do. So, okay, so my wholesale pricing for printers and faxes is now done, and if I jump to the front end of the store, and I am logged in, let's go. Well, let me log out super quick, and actually I haven't logged out in another store, so it doesn't matter. Let's go to printers and fax machines here, and printers and fax machines here. So in this window right here that you're seeing, I'm not logged in. Let's just take this printer here, $249. On this screen, I am logged in. It's $99.97. And let's pop this open. And you can see I have a quantity break grid here, depending how much I buy. So let's buy 6 of these printers. I can see that if I buy 6, they're only going to be $96.97, and I'm going to get it for 31% off. You can choose not to show this percent off. It's completely customizable. Let's go ahead and add 6 to the cart. So now I've got 6 in the cart, and I don't know if you can see this up here, but there's a message. You can make this font any size you want. It's basically saying, good news, you're saving $259 by buying in bulk today. So you can customize that message however you want. Now when I go to checkout, that price carries through to the checkout, and there was someone earlier that asked, can I still use a coupon code? Yes, you 100%. Oh yeah, J was my coupon code. Let's actually enter that in. So 580. Let's enter my coupon code. And so you see now my price has gone down to $435. I had wholesale pricing. I had quantity breaks, bulk discounts with my wholesale pricing, and I used a coupon code because there's no variance or discounts being used. That's really the beauty of Cashier with customer pricing. It just works. So I think that's pretty slick. So that answers that question for that person before. I'm going to bang through a couple questions here really quick. Okay. Can you require a minimum quantity before getting a wholesale price? Yes, you can. And so typically the way that people give a customer wholesale pricing is they set up a form on their website to let people apply for wholesale pricing. You get that information. It can be a jot form, a custom-made form, type form, whatever you want. Some form where a customer applies to become a dealer of your products. You get their information. You verify that they're a legit company. Maybe you want to make sure that they have a storefront. You want to see their website. You make sure they're legit. And then you decide to grant them a wholesale account. You create a regular Shopify customer account and then just apply the customer tag of the appropriate wholesale level. If you just have one wholesale price level, the tag might just be wholesale. If you have level 1, level 2, level 3, just give them the right tag. And then if you have rules set in place that after they order X amount of times or spend X amount, it can automatically move them into different wholesale price levels, or you can tag them into those other wholesale price levels as you want. Someone said, can we show the MSRP? Oh shoot, I forgot to show that. Yes, you can. There is an option in wholesale pricing to show the discounted price. So yes, you can choose not to, or you can choose to as well too. I won't bother finding it, but yes, you can. We use the memberships and customer pricing apps already to provide, thank you, first of all. We use memberships and customer pricing to provide discounts to members on certain products. What else will we be able to do by adding Cashier? Well, literally everything that Cashier does. So, I mean, like from net terms to stored credit card accounts to upselling after checkout to, well, actually, I mean, if you're using customer pricing and you use Cashier, you can turn on the customer pricing plugin in Cashier, and then you no longer need to duplicate variants or use draft order mode, or the batches sync faster. It's just a better experience all the way around using the two together. But then just all the other benefits of Cashier work, customizable checkout, or URL in the checkout, everything. So someone's saying, any idea when we can integrate our own tax codes with Avalara? That is being worked on as we speak. Right now it works. Cashier has built-in tax rates that are pretty much the same as Avalara, like it's real-time synced, but I know a lot of people have custom tax rate set up in Avalara and they want to just pull it in. They're actually working on that integration. TaxJar is already integrated. Avalara is not yet, but that's coming very soon. Can wholesale customers be uploaded from QuickBooks? Wholesale, yes, but they would just be uploaded into Shopify. So they would just need to be uploaded into Shopify with that tag, and then yes. And you can import customers into Shopify with certain tags and everything else. So essentially, yes, because all customer pricing does is our app holds the logic for the pricing. So what the wholesale pricing should be, what tag it needs to be, like one collection gets X% price, one collection, that's what lives inside customer pricing. Shopify holds the information for the customer. The only thing that needs to happen is there needs to be the proper tag on that customer, and then it just works. So you can import customers directly into Shopify, just make sure you're importing it with the proper tag. Many of our customers want the ability to ship on their shipping account number. Good question. So for example, FedEx, UPS, is this addressed by the cashier page? Not yet, but that has come up, and that's a really good question. So basically what this person's asking is, so right now cashier works with your FedEx, UPS number. So basically if you're shipping UPS, you would want to either, charge the customer shipping or not charge them shipping because they're buying so much, however you work that out. But it integrates with your UPS account. What this person is asking is, can the customer put in their own UPS account so that there's no charge on shipping? They put in their UPS account number and it's just billed to their UPS account. It's a really good question, and it is something that is on the radar. I don't have a time frame on when when it might come out, but I'll make sure. Actually, and that person was on Crowdcast, so everyone that's on Crowdcast, we'll make sure we get updates out for all of that. But that is on the radar. I just don't have a time frame. Okay, so someone's asking about credit limits. I'm going to show you that app in a second. How are they kept current? If a customer has 5,000, how do you adjust it? I'll show you that in the credit limit app. Okay, so someone said, does the customer pricing app work with subscriptions without created extra variants? Yes, it does. That is the beauty of not having to duplicate variants. It works perfectly with subscriptions. And that's an interesting use case that we've seen a few wholesale merchants do, is we find, like in certain industries, wholesale customers want to set up automatic reorders every month. So maybe you're selling, if it's food or if it's even in the health and beauty, maybe you sell, deodorant, perfume, or makeup or something or whatever, but there's a set amount and you, as a dealer, would like to say, I want 27 of this product, 39 of this, 21 of these, and I'd like it every month. And then, so yes, you can do wholesale pricing with subscriptions, and I can set that up. It might take a second, but it would work exactly the same way as long as you have a subscription group on a product and you apply wholesale pricing, that customer would just pay the wholesale pricing every month. It just works. And then what's great is our Bold Subscriptions app lets you log in and edit the quantities that you're getting. So I think I have the account I'm logged in on this store here has a couple subscriptions. So if I'm logged in as a wholesaler, I don't know if these were wholesale pricing or not, but I'm going to click on Manage Subscription. It's going to pull up my subscription orders. I can see all my subscriptions going out. I can click on, this was one order for one product, but realistically, you might have, you might have like 20 orders on here, and I could edit my quantities of all. So instead of one quantity, like maybe I want 25 bags of these coffee per month, and then I would see all my products here. I might want 17 of these, 12 of those, and then your dealers will be able to fine tune their monthly subscription, and that's really awesome because then they don't have to worry about running out of inventory and it's not a big deal if maybe they don't sell everything last month. It just means they have a little bit more inventory than the dealer can log back in and tweak their next month. Subscriptions with wholesale is a really neat solution. We're seeing some merchants do it, and it's working really well. Let me just, a couple more here, and then I'm going to jump into the Net Terms app. Thank you guys for all the questions. This is there's a ton of interest, obviously, in wholesale and B2B, which is really encouraging. So someone's asking, when a client uses net terms, is there any special status for the order? We use Spark Shipping to grab orders and to fulfill. It looks for paid orders. I'll show you how that works in a second. Currently, when a net terms order is placed in Shopify, it shows as not paid. I was speaking with the product manager this morning. They're rolling out a setting to control, so you can decide, do you want it to be paid? Do you want it to be not paid? When speaking with merchants, some wanted it not paid and some wanted it paid. There wasn't a consistent use, the way that it would be used across merchants. So the default is the order gets generated as not paid. But they are going to be giving an option to say, how do you want your default order? It can be generated as paid, so it does get shipped, and then you handle the billing after. So someone's asking, we are using custom pricing and have the buy now button on the product pages, which takes you directly to checkout. Can the buy now button be used together with custom pricing? Usually they have issues, but the buy now button uses the base price. So if you're using, we've seen this a lot, and you 100% can. If you're using Cashier with customer pricing, we just need to add a little bit of code. Some themes have this buy now button where it skips past the cart and it goes directly to the checkout. Normally, when you install Cashier, the checkout button on the cart page gets redirect. Sometimes the themes that have the buy now buttons on collection pages and other spots don't automatically redirect. Just email anyone on our support team. There's a little bit of code we have to wrap around that button to make sure it does, and then yes, it works 100%. But there is a slight, it can be done in minutes, but there is a bit of a modification that has to happen to that button. That's a common question. And the tricky part is with that is we can't make it automatically work with every theme, because all of those quick shop modals and collection weight, the way that a lot of those buy now buttons are done are quite different. So just email us and we can take care of that. How do we customize the wholesale customer login experience in Shopify? By default, the login is made for customers. It's just the account page. So we've seen a lot of really, unique ways that merchants have customized this page, but it's okay. So I get where this question is coming from is if you log into an account. So this page, I'm going to log out. If by default, most Shopify themes, the account page is very basic. So when a customer goes to log in, this is what it looks like, and it doesn't look like a wholesale login. This page is completely customizable. It's just it's under your liquid templates. I think it's like account.liquid. I'm not sure off the top, customer.liquid maybe. But either way, like I've seen a lot of stores do the you can hide the login and then automatically just show here a form to sign up for a wholesale account. You can add extra fields when they register, like first name, last name, annual volume, like what state they're in, because maybe you want to protect dealers in certain regions. You only want 5 dealers in the West, 5 dealers in the Mid-East, 5 dealers on the East. So you can definitely customize this page as much as you want. It's just a Shopify page. So if the dealer has multiple reps across the country, will their individual users, if a dealer has multiple reps across the country, will their individual user orders be aggregated to the single dealer so that dynamic pricing can come into effect? In other words, James places an order for $10K and Kyle places an order for $10K. We give the dealer they represent an additional 2% to graduate them into a new price I think so this would be reps. A lot of businesses have what they have is they have a rep manage a region, and under that region there might be a lot of stores, but this rep is responsible for, let's just say, Western United States, and Tom is my rep, and every store that Tom opens, they get their wholesale pricing, they can order it through, but Tom then gets a commission of what they order. Customer pricing doesn't have rep management built in. We have actually built this exact solution for a few merchants. It's a custom thing, but on a very simple level, if you applied a tag to specific customers who were under Tom's region, and then once a month did a report on all orders, sort by tag. It was just, we're talking like 5 or 10 minutes work a month, but export those orders, find all the orders placed where customer also has region equals Tom, and then figure out the percentage owed to Tom that month. It would be very minimal work. But I know we've actually built a custom solution for a couple stores. I've seen other agencies do it. I don't know for sure if you need a custom backend for this. It might just be as simple as doing a monthly export and just making sure you tag those customers the right way. But the app doesn't handle rep management. Potential feature for the future for sure. That's a good question. So then one person's just asking, you said it's possible to use custom pricing with subscriptions. Do I need to use Bold Cashier? You don't. No, you don't have to. The only reason you might want to is you might get into, like, Shopify only allows 100 variants on a product, and depending how many wholesale price levels you have, like if you have a product that has red, blue, and green, small, medium, large, extra large, that's 4 times 3, that's 12 variants, okay? Now let's just say you have VIP pricing, gold, standard, and a couple wholesale, say 5 times 12. So now you're all of a sudden at 60 variants. You can see how and then imagine you got a quantity break. So now if you have quantity breaks on that, it doubles all of that up. So 1 quantity break level, and then you're at 120, you're over the limit. So it is a little bit tricky. It can be done. Where it's not ideal is when you have products with a lot of variants. But if you have products that don't have a lot of variants, it's usually fine. So, okay. Awesome questions. Thank you guys so much for those. Let's keep going here. I'm going to jump into the Net Terms app. I think I covered pretty much everything with customer pricing. There's a lot to this app. You can apply the quantity or the wholesale pricing across the whole store if you wanted to. You can do it by detailed, import, export. The only thing I won't get into details, but when you're using Cashier with customer pricing, if you go under settings, under general, you'll see there's variant dependent method. Right now we're using the standard method, which is with Cashier, and it just uses meta fields to change the prices on the front end. That's why it's so quick. If I wasn't using the standard method, there'd be a third method here called draft order method. Draft order and variant method are kind of like they work. They both have their limitations. The variant method, of course, duplicates variants. Draft order, some of the downsides of that is not all of the wallet pays work. Coupon codes don't work. A couple other things. With Cashier, the standard method, we call it just everything works. So you just have to make sure you're on this method to do everything we're talking about today. Okay. So we did customer pricing. I want to show you guys net terms really quick here. So you might, if you were watching earlier, you probably got a glimpse of this. I'm going to log in as a wholesale customer, and I'm going to add something to my cart. Let's go to printers and fax machines here. So let's add 5 of these to my cart, and let's go ahead and check out. I'm saving a little bit of money because I hit the quantity break 5. So if I'm logged in and I have net terms and a credit limit applied to me, you'll see a new section in the checkout down at the bottom here. So I've got the option to pay by credit card, and because it's Cashier, I can use any of my stored account cards. I can add a new card. I can choose to pay with points. And you can disable points for wholesale customers. It's quite common that you don't want wholesale customers to earn points, but maybe you do. We've seen it both ways. But you'll also see pay with your terms account. So I'm going to click this. And the customer I'm logged in with is on a net 30 account. and I have a $5,000 credit limit. So I currently don't have any orders outstanding, so I have my full $5,000 credit limit available. So I'm going to put this whole order on my credit limit. I'm going to put in let's put in a purchase order number here, a 9898. A lot of times wholesalers want to link it to a purchase order number for them. And then I'm going to apply this payment. Think of your credit limit kind of as a gateway. It basically, let's just uncheck credit card here because we're not paying by credit card. There we go, sorry. So I've applied my credit to the account, amount remaining 0, and I can check out now. So let's go ahead and actually check out. So I didn't have to enter a credit card, although this customer has 3 credit cards stored. Now, so that's what it looks like checking out with credit. Now, if I go in again, and let's just say I add another item, and you'll see how the credit limit, just pick anything here, let's add this to cart, go to cart, go to checkout. So now you'll notice when I pay with a credit limit again, I don't quite have as much as I did before. I only have this much credit available. So, okay, so let me show you what that looks like in the back end. So we're going to go into the Net Terms app. Sorry, just reloading Shopify here. Okay, so Bold Net Terms. And I've got a customer, basically, so when you load Net Terms, the first thing you do is you're going to set up what terms do you want to accept. I've set up a bunch here. I can give customers 60 days, 15 days, 30 days. You can set up whatever you want. Let's create another one real quick just to see how it done. I'm going to call this net 90. And this would give my customers 90 days to pay. When do I want the payment or the time to start from? Do I want it to be from the order date or from the end of the month? I usually like to do it on order date, but you can also do it on order fulfillment date. So net 90 from when the order is shipped, or net 90 from the end of the month that order's in. So pick whichever one you want. And then this is actually a relatively new feature. If you want to require deposit, this would just mean when your dealer is checking out that 20% would have to get charged to a credit card, and then the balance would be put on their Net Terms account. So let's go ahead and save this. So now I've got, it just adds that as a new plan. And then when I go to my customers, let's find myself. Okay, so I've got a customer here, Jason. Let's go ahead and basically, I only have one demo customer here, so I won't do another one. I have this one set up already, but all I did was when you come into Net Terms, it sees all the customers in Shopify. You pick the customer you want to apply Net Terms to. You come into the customer and you say, I want to give this person net 60, and I just created net 90. So let's say I want to give them net 90, and I want this customer to have a credit limit of only 3,000. I've already set the currency. Once you set the currency, it's locked. That is one thing to note, that terms can only be in one specific currency. Cashier can do multi-currency billing, but for a dealer, just because their terms, so like, do I want that credit limit of 3,000 to be 3,000 US dollars, 3,000 Canadian dollars, 3,000 Australian dollars? What I'm saying is, what is that credit limit in as far as currency? You can bill the customer in anything you want, but the credit limit is in a specific amount. And then there's customer log. I can see all their previous ones. So now if I go over here to orders, I should see that order that I just placed. It's $1,000 here. So I can record a payment. Now a lot of different things you can do here. Someone was asking about check. So yes, I can record a check. I put in the check number. Maybe they pay the full amount by check. Maybe they do it partially by check and partially by credit card. A lot of different options. I'm going to do this one by credit card. I'm going to pick this stored credit card, and I'm going to just say they pay the full amount by credit card. And I can charge them right here because the card is stored. And let's see, we're good. No, I don't want an additional payment method, just credit card. And I'm going to go ahead and process the payment. Oh, I think because I entered a second one here. There we go. Visa, let's process the payment. And so now it's charged the card, checking this amount, done. Now this customer no longer owes anything. So that's how easy it is to process a payment. So that would be if I want to charge to the card. If they mailed a check, I would have just gone in and clicked record payment, whatever method they did. So I know someone was asking about can they record a payment, just record by check on their credit. So yes. So kind of what's cool about net terms is maybe you want to only let them have a $5,000 outstanding balance, even though they're paying by check. So if they order something for $1,000, for $2,000, and then $1,000, they've used their limit, they won't have the option to check out until they send a check, and then you record that payment, and then it frees up some of their credit, and then they can order more. So it's kind of neat for that way. Someone's asking, with Cashier saved cards for clients, can we invoice a client from admin? Sorry. With Cashier saved cards for clients, can we invoice a client from admin and charge their saved card without seeing their card details? Yeah, yes, 100%. You never can see a customer's card details ever. Let me just show you what that would look like here. So I want to go to customers with payment terms, apply search, find myself, click edit, click payment info, click credit card information. Okay, here's, so I'm a merchant. I'm looking at this wholesale customer, and I clicked credit card information. I can enter a new credit card for this customer. I can edit their credit card, but I cannot see it. And neither can we. The cards are tokenized with whatever payment gateway, whether it's Stripe, Authorize, Braintree. The only thing you can see is the last 4 digits and the expiration date and what type of card it is. So yeah, that's it. Hope that answers that. Does net terms send out statements automatically or reminders? Wow, someone's thinking ahead. I had that as one of my common questions on the last slide. It currently doesn't. That is on the very near release schedule. I think our product manager put it that way. It's being developed as we speak. So there was, he actually said, I had some notes here. All emails are on short-term roadmap. It's going to be order due reminder, payment process confirmation, monthly statements, all of that. So those will be fully automated. You can control them, the styling and everything on them as well too. So yes, probably within weeks on that one. Okay, so that's net terms kind of in a nutshell. And then the last thing I wanted to show was memberships. So you noticed on the store that we were on, when I logged in, I could see, let me just kind of remind you guys here because I know a lot of people joined in recently. So I'm logged in as a wholesale customer right now. And over here, I'm logged in as a regular customer. This is just an incognito Chrome tab. So as a regular customer, let's sort by A to Z. This is just an example. I see 4 menu items and I'm on the ink category and I just see ink. Over here, let's sort A to Z on this ink. I see, you'll notice another menu item over here called dealer resources. I've got extra products added in. So this, this page here, dealer resources, can have content just for dealers. So now let me show you how I did that. And that's with our memberships app. So let's jump into that. There's a lot you can do with memberships. You can choose to charge a customer and they have to pay, $29 a month to get access to something, or maybe it's an offline membership. Maybe you have a consulting service or something, or you can just control content on the website. So let me show you what I did. I created a plan here, and I'll just pop this open. So I created a plan called Wholesale 1, and I designated this plan tag Wholesale 1. And if you remember, in customer pricing, I used that exact same tag. So what I'm doing is I'm using the same tag in both apps. Customer pricing is controlling the prices. Memberships is going to control content on the website. I'm not going to worry about enabling a free trial, email verification. Do I want to add a billing option? Like this is, if you're charging, like memberships does a lot of stuff. Like maybe you want to charge a customer $29 a month or, $59 a year to be on your wholesale account. You could. We're not doing any of that. All I wanted to do is use the rules section here. So I've created two things. One is to show a page, and I only have 3 pages on this site, dealer resources to customers with this tag. So by default, because if you notice over here, it'll say when you choose a rule to show something, it hides it by default. So then by default, anyone who's not tagged Wholesale 1 will not see that page. The other thing I've done here is I've chosen to show a collection, and my selected collection was cleaning tools. Oh, actually, let me show you what that looks like on the front end of the store. If I'm logged in as a non-wholesale customer and I go to try and look at my cleaning tools collection, I can't see it. If I'm logged in as a dealer and I try to go and look at my cleaning tools selection, I can see it just like normal. So this is the exact same collection, just not logged in, logged in. That product that I could see, the ink refill center, I actually did that with the customer pricing app, but I could have done it in here. I could choose to show a specific product, and then I would say, okay, which product, and then I can pick which product I want to show, pick a certain collection. And if you look closely here, you'll see you can say blog content, certain articles, pages, add to cart buttons, pretty much anything. And then use a different liquid template. So this is another common one. So let's say you want to have a different homepage when a wholesale customer logs in, because when a wholesale customer logs in, you don't want to have all the retail specials. So you can actually pick whichever. I don't have a duplicate. I think I might for product. If you have more than one template, here's a good example. So for products, I might want to use my product grid. Actually, perfect example was earlier someone asked for mobile experience. What you probably want to do is create a collection page for quick ordering for your wholesale customers. So wholesale customers can scan through, enter 2 of these, 5 of these, 1 of these, and then add them all to the cart. But a retail customer isn't going to shop that way. So I would create a different collection template and then select it here. So when a wholesale customer logs in, that's the collection template they see. You can really customize everything. That ink page, that ink refill center, there is a feature, just to add, some of you guys might be wondering how that was hidden and shown. For simple products, let me just show you where this is here. Different page. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so if there's any products, like with memberships, you can control entire collections, what you don't want to show, or hundreds of products at once. If there's just a couple products, anytime you create a tag, so VIP Gold, if you tag a customer with that tag, they'll get the special pricing. If you tag a product with that tag -hide, it will hide a product for everyone else except that customer. So, for example, that tag, that ink refill center, I tagged that product as Wholesale 1 hide, and then that hides it to every other customer except Wholesale 1. So I used that to hide and show that product. I could have also done it in memberships. That one, there's a little bit of overlap functionality there between the two apps. I think that was it for memberships. Yeah, basically, so the other thing, with memberships, that was how we showed or hide the dealer section, changing the front end. We changed a lot of different content on the site with memberships. So you can kind of see how when you tie the 3 together, you can create your wholesale pricing, create a wholesale experience, give proper payment terms, really it can be any way you want. And that's why we approach wholesale with this mindset that there isn't a one size fits all. And so you can use bits and pieces of these functionality, or you can use all of them. So I'm going to quickly go through a couple questions. I think most of these have been answered already, so this will be super quick, and then we're done, and then I got a couple more questions that have come in. This is a record for questions, by the way, so thank you guys for all those questions. Net terms. Okay, so the main question that comes up all the time is, can I set it to automatically charge credit cards when payment is due? Very soon. It doesn't right now. Right now you manually charge it, but that has been the #1 requested feature since we launched it, and that's being developed as we speak. So maybe even by the time you're watching this, that's done. That'll be very soon. Next question is, how does it work with multi-currency billing? I think I touched on this earlier, but terms are set in a specific currency, but customers can check out in other currencies, but they only get the credit in a specific currency. Can I automatically give customers terms based on Shopify tags? So this question is, if I set up net 90 with a $5,000 credit limit and net 30 with a $2,000 credit limit, can you just tag a customer like N90 or N60 and it automatically syncs? So it currently doesn't, but it was such a common question that that's being developed as well too. As you can kind of see a trend here, a lot of these questions are, just in case you guys don't know, net terms, we just released it a few weeks ago. It's very new. So we're loving getting the feedback, and it's been very positive. And like that's kind of our philosophy at Bold is we get a product out, get feedback, see how people are using it, and then iterate on it. So the first version that I was just using, the demo, that's live. You can install it today. And we would love any other feedback you had. These are some of the questions that have been coming in already, and they're already being worked on. You might see some of them. If you're using it right now, you'll be seeing a lot of changes every week because they're actively adding all these things. Does net terms send any emails to customers? So somebody asked this. I answered this already. That's being developed as well too. Payment reminder emails, monthly statements, all those will be built into net terms, so you don't have to manually. It'll be automatically triggered. And then the other question: can I record payments for multiple orders at once? And right now the answer is no, but that is also coming very soon as well too. So I asked my product manager for 5 common questions, and I think the reason why all of these are so common is because, well, they're being developed and people have been asking them, and now they're already working on them. So this might save a lot of questions you have when you email our merchant success team saying, hey, what about this? Everything you're seeing on the screen right now is actively in development, and some of these things could be out in as soon as weeks. Some of them might be a little bit longer, but they're all actively being developed. Some common questions for customer pricing is, how does it work with other apps? And this question already came up with subscriptions and other things. For example, shipping apps, accounting apps. As long as you're using the cashier version of customer pricing, it pretty much works with any app. And the reason why is, I'll give you an example. So let's take a loyalty app or an app that is creates discount codes on the fly. Because you saw how I created that discount code and then it just instantly worked with cashier. It syncs real time. And because it doesn't duplicate variants, you don't have to worry if you're using accounting software. It's one SKU, the same SKU that a retail customer buys. If a wholesale customer buys that product, it's the same SKU. Same thing with our subscription app, and that's why it works with that. I know other subscription apps duplicate products to create like the subscribe and save version of that product. We don't do any of that. It's one product, but cashier manipulate with a lot of rules around it. So is it a subscription product? Is it wholesale? But one product at the base. So it works wonderfully with a lot of apps because of that. I can't think of any off the top of my head. It really doesn't. But so yes. This one comes up a lot. Can I stop dealers from earning loyalty points when they shop? Most people want, if you have a retail store where retail customers are ordering from and wholesale customers are ordering from, you want your wholesale customers you want your retail customers to get loyalty points, because you've got high profit margins, but you don't want your wholesale customers earning loyalty points and losing money in them. So I know we have an app, Bold Loyalties, that can exclude customers with a specific tag from earning points. I think other loyalty points app do that as well. I don't know for sure. I know for sure that Bold Loyalties does. There's a lot of Smile is a great loyalties app, Swell, Loyalty Lion, all good. I can't speak for them, but as long as it has the feature to not award points to customers with a specific tag, then yes. And I know for sure Bold Loyalties does do that. So different customers can earn or not earn. And then how does it work with multi-currency billing? So the reason I put this in here is right now if you have wholesale pricing, it's a set currency. But that is also coming very soon. And I wanted to put it in here because in 2 weeks, the webinar is going to be on discounts and our price rules engine. And we may or may not get into this, but essentially our price rules engine is solving this for wholesale billing. Currently, Cashier handles multi-currency billing, 153 currencies for any retail customers. But with the dynamically changed prices with customer pricing, it doesn't. We're waiting on a module from our price rules engine, which stay tuned in 2 weeks. We'll explain a little bit more about that. But that is coming very soon. So you can have wholesale pricing in multiple countries. Well, right now you can display different currencies, but it will always charge in the base. Very soon it'll be able to display different currencies and charge in those currencies in all your various wholesale price levels. Right now you can charge in those different currencies in your retail price level. And then just a couple common memberships questions. If a customer doesn't buy a membership, how can I add them to it? The same way you add a customer into your wholesale price group, you just tag that customer with the designated tag and they're instantly in it. That's the next time that customer shops, they will have that membership. Do I need memberships for selling wholesale? No, you don't. The two go really well together because memberships controls everything about the site, where customer pricing controls the prices. If you just want to change the prices and you don't care if your site looks any different, like if you don't have any exclusive content just for your dealers, then you don't need memberships. But if you want to offer different pricing and have, a different collection of products just for your wholesalers, then you need memberships. And a really good example of that is a lot of times you might sell the display rack, for example. So you sell bracelets, but when a dealer logs in, you want to sell the bracelet rack, the bracelet display, the bracelet, whatever. A retail customer wouldn't buy that, but a wholesale customer would. So you would have a collection in your store called display products and only show that collection to wholesalers, and you would do that with the memberships app. So you don't need it, but it makes it better. Does memberships affect any other Bold apps? No, it doesn't. So that's a nice thing. Memberships really just controls the front of the store. It doesn't change anything with pricing. It doesn't. There is some consideration that needs to be done for installing Liquid. We do all that for you. So anyways, memberships works well with pretty much all of our apps and any other app out there. That's it. There is couple questions I want to answer really quick here. And then if you guys have any more questions, feel free to post them in. Even once this is over, we'll make sure we answer them. But there's two that just came in I'm going to address really quick. Is it possible to not process an order through Shopify? With wholesale orders being quite large, a large chunk of it goes away from Shopify's transaction fees. Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, so if you use Cashier, it's processed through Cashier. Cashier does have a 0.5% processing fee. I don't know what plan you're on Shopify. But if I can't speak to Shopify's fees, you may or may not get charged them even if you use. I don't know. But I generally wouldn't recommend it as a way to get around fees. But you can certainly make it so only wholesale orders go through Cashier and regular orders go through Shopify checkout. Definitely possible. I think you're still responsible for paying Shopify fees. I don't know for sure though. But can we set up an account for VIP monthly subscription for a customer? Yes, that is a super good use case. Whoever asked that question is smart, because one of the cool ways you can use customer pricing and memberships is with Bold subscriptions. When a customer buys a subscription product, let me just show you something here. I'm going to go to my tag section of customer pricing. First of all, thank you for everyone who's still watching. I know this has been a super long webinar. So let me jump into, hold on, just refresh here. One thing I didn't show, sorry, I was on the page. Let's take this VIP. So I've got a 10% discount to customers with VIP. I can make it, there's two ways you can accomplish this. One of the easy ways is I can do it by product. So when a customer buys a specific product, and if you have a subscription box, let's just say, so here I've got my Bold subscription box. So I'm going to make it so if a customer buys the Bold subscription box, automatically tag them VIP. So now they're going to be getting that subscription every month and 10% off anything on the website. So that's one way you can do it. Also, when Bold Subscriptions generates a subscription, it automatically tags the customer, and you can make that the designated tag in here so they get specific pricing. You can use that same tag in memberships to show or hide exclusive content. So maybe because they're a member, they get VIP pricing, and they also get access to blog content that's premium. They get access to a collection of exclusive products. Maybe every time new products come out, subscribers get access to it a month before anyone else. There's a lot you can do. And then on top of that, with Bold loyalty points, you can have it so a tagged customer gets different earning ratios. They can redeem or earn points faster. So you can create a very compelling subscription offering where it's not just the product, they get a whole bunch of benefits to your store. And if you watched our subscription webinar, that is actually the key to reducing churn. The only reason customers churn is when perceived value is less than they're paying. So by offering all these other benefits, you're getting that perceived value up and up and up. And then when that customer says, you know what, I don't really need this subscription for this thing anymore, but I'm getting all these other benefits, I'm probably going to keep that subscription. So whoever asked that, that's a very, very smart question and a great way to use all of our apps together to create a program where you're subscribing, getting VIP pricing, VIP loyalty points, getting exclusive access to content on the website. It's pretty killer. Someone's saying, can we use Bold memberships? Can we password protect collections? So you don't password protect them, you customer protect them. So it's just based off of the customer. There's no need for passwords. If I'm logged in as Jason and I'm a VIP customer and VIP customers get access to that, then I can see it. If I'm logged in as Tom and I don't have that, I don't see it. So the nice thing about that is you don't need customers to remember passwords for different areas of your website. They just need to remember their login. It's all tied to their customer account. So no need for passwords, but it is gated content. You can gate anything. You can make it so they unlogged in customers can't see prices. So you have to create an account to see prices, or you can make it so with memberships they can see prices, but they can't see the add to cart button. Let's just say so. But again, no password they have to enter. It's just they have to be logged in or not logged in. So, and that's just really simple to do in the memberships app. When I create a plan, it would just be one of those rules. So I would say add a rule, show product's price to this customer. If I did that right now to all the products, use entire store, all the prices on this store would disappear, unless I was logged in. And then same thing if I would say products add to cart button. This would remove the add to cart button for everyone other than this tag. So that's a great way to get customer emails, get them to sign up, get them to join your program. So someone's asking, how would upsell and cross-sell work with customer pricing? Will it show the tiered pricing in the pop-up? Not in the pop-up. The tiered pricing is on the product. The offer is in the pop-up. If they would show the custom pricing, but not, you could probably customize it actually. It would show the unique pricing, so like wholesale pricing or VIP pricing. It doesn't show the quantity break grid in the pop-up. Typically, upsell offers are designed to be a one-click accept, not like, oh yes, I'll add 17 of these in the upsell. But theoretically, with some customization, you could probably insert the code, the snippet for that quantity breaks, the liquid snippet in the upsell. I don't know 100% for sure, but by default it doesn't. But the proper pricing, like the VIP or the wholesale pricing, that does work with upsell. Okay, those are all the questions for now. We've gone way over time, but thank you guys for all the questions. I will make sure I post, I think I did already in all the areas it was streaming, but I'll post where you guys can get any of these apps. And as I mentioned, let me just slide this back up here. These are the direct links, but they're all free to try. Cashier, as I mentioned, is actually free forever. The only thing is there's a 0.5% processing fee. It's very, I just think if you don't make extra average order, get more average order volume and make more per order, because some of the benefits that Cashier offers, then it's not worth it. But the stores that are using upselling after checkout are seeing, we've got stores seeing 60, 70% conversion. Now layer in these membership programs, subscription programs, stored customer accounts. We think it's worth it. But anyways, Cashier is free. There's just a 0.5%. And then these other apps all have a free trial. So feel free to try any of them out. If any of you guys have any questions, pre-install, email solutions@boldcommerce.com. If you're using the app, I should have this email up here as well too, but if you're using the app and you need support, it's just support@boldcommerce.com. That's who you want to talk to if you're actually using it and you need some troubleshooting. If you're not using any of them and you have questions, will this app work for me? Then solutions@boldcommerce.com is your best bet. Thank you guys so much for watching. Next week's going to be pretty special. We have a couple partners that are going to be on the webinar. One of the amazing things about Cashier is it integrates with so many other third-party apps. We have two great ones on next week, Rise.ai and QuadPay. Rise.ai is a really neat gifting solution, I want to say. You watch the webinar, you'll see how it works. And then QuadPay, to sum it up in a nutshell, their slogan is any website split in four. It's just if you want to offer 4 easy payments of something, you can do that with Cashier, with the QuadPay integration. We're going to show you how to do that. And if you're a partner, or even if you're thinking about building your own integration, we're going to talk a little bit about Cashier and how the API works, how you get API access. Cashier is a really great tool for agencies to build on top of, and we're starting to see a lot of it, so we'll talk a little bit about that. If that's something that you're interested in, make sure you tune in next week. That's all for now. We'll see you next week.